What's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today I'm going to be reviewing the 2007 adventure fantasy film The Golden Compass, which stars Daniel Craig, Nicole Kidman, and Dakota Blue Richards, and it centers around a lot of different things, but the main thing that you need to know about the story is that it takes place in a universe similar but different to our own, where a portion of your soul is split apart and lives in something called a personal demon, which is basically an animal. If you die, your animal dies, and the same vice versa. The main storyline that's occurring in The Golden Compass is that the kids are going missing. They are being kidnapped for some nefarious reason, and Lyra, the main character of our story, must figure out where they're being held and for what purpose, using her trusty golden compass, which only she can read. Think Captain Jack Sparrow's magical compass, just a little bit different. So, there are two reasons why I am reviewing this now. The first being that I first saw this film 2 or 3 years ago, give or take, and for some odd reason I didn't review it, I didn't score it, so I don't actually remember what I thought about it as a whole. The second reason being is, if you've been paying any attention to what HBO's been doing this season, they started a new series called His Dark Materials, which is the same exact story, just adapted for the smaller screen, which seemed to be a really bold strategy, Cotton.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Because the movie wasn't exactly received that well, and the TV series seems to be doing everything the movie did beat for beat. The only thing that differs is the pacing, and we all know pacing can make all the difference in the world, and it definitely does in the case of Golden Compass versus His Dark Materials. The movie, at the end of the day, is simply over-convoluted. It just is. The way I usually dictate what is and isn't over-convoluted is rather simple. Usually, I look to see if a movie has two of the following: too many characters, too many storylines, or too many locations, and The Golden Compass has all three. There's simply so many things happening all at once that I truly believe the audience will have a very hard time distinguishing what the actual plot is and where the call to action falls under, because it's mentioned in passing, but you probably won't think about it so much because there's no focus on it. The TV show so far has the most focus on the kids getting taken storyline, as it should. It uses that plot as the heart and soul of the story, and everything else just kind of naturally follows suit. The movie mentioned a kid was missing at one point, and then other things happen. Later in the movie, they're all like, oh yeah, those kids. The focal point in this movie is unfortunately kind of all over the place, and it's very, very hard to follow. The best way I can explain it is it's His Dark Materials, but like the Cliff Notes version. You can understand the highlighted moments of importance, but you won't really understand the significance behind any of them. That tells me that the story itself isn't bad. The book series that this film was adapted from isn't bad, and adapting it for the smaller screen was probably a wonderful idea, because if you have a movie adaptation that feels super convoluted, that probably means you simply crammed too much into what little time you were allotted, and the result is just a mess. I'm glad that they decided to make this on HBO, because the best parts in the movie that most people will probably never see because they've been avoiding the film as a whole will be seen in the show, but it will also have significance attached, and the audiences will simply have an easier time following it, enjoying it, and being entertained as a whole. So while I can't really recommend watching the movie for the first time experiencing the story, I can see recommending it as a companion piece. Watch the first season of the show in its entirety, or read the first book in the series before you watch the movie. Once you do that, I feel like you'll respect it much more for what it is. If you go in blind with this movie, you might do what I did and ask the person next to me what I just missed, even though I didn't move or look away. What did I score this movie? Not the greatest, 54%, 54 out of 100 possible stars, giving it an F. It has some great ideas, for sure, but I almost feel like it was trying to piggyback off of some other successful adventure films like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, or The Chronicles of Narnia, more so than it was trying to be its own thing. I mean, heck, the movie has Gandalf and Saruman cast in the movie. Take that as you will. Let me know if you're a fan of The Golden Compass, though. I'd like to hear your take on it in the comments down below. As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review and like to see some more like it. Hit the thumbs up button, as that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, which helps notify you when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!